Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com, coming to you from the Hat Creek Interior Studios tonight on a sad day in America. We will get to that as we go through tonight. Yes, we will visit with you on the United Supermarkets chat line this evening. The supermarket that supports Texas Tech in West Texas versus the one that takes your money, sends it down to Austin, and puts your money in their name on things down there in Austin. Also by Shropshire Insurance of Texas. It's such a big agency right here of Lubbock. They can handle all the insurance needs of Texas. They're growing. They're doing great things. Check out what they do. Go to their website for Shropshire Insurance of Texas. Also by Gators Bayou, hot Cajun food, ice cold drinks, all the games on TV. You know Gators Bayou on 98th and Slide. Check them out. Tell them we said hey when you drop by there. All right, glad to be here in the Hat Creek Interior Studios. We'll get this thing going tonight. Texas Tech football. What if Wednesday? No whining from Utah fans, and really, this is going to be hopefully a great night of conversation between me and you on the United Supermarkets chat line on anything and everything that's on your mind. In three, in two. Good evening, West Texans. All you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. That's the website. You started your day this morning. You saw the Raiderland Hot Links brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas. I mean, generations have been going there in Post, not just to get great meat, but, you take your deer in to be processed and take your cattle in there. You get the idea. You know what they do. It's Meat Locker. It's old school. It's cool stuff. Check them out. They need to be a part of your tailgate. If you're making your way in this weekend from the Metroplex, coming up 84, stop in Jackson Brothers and tell them we said hello and tell them thanks for being a part of Raiderland. All right, a lot of different things today. And again, we want to hear from you on a variety of subjects. One, why is Texas Tech selling out football games at Jones Stadium? How is this possible? Why is this going on? I was told that when A&M left and Nebraska left the Big 12, and that when Texas left and OU left, and when all the big names left, that Texas Tech would never be able to sell out a 60,000 seat stadium. That the only reason they'd ever had big crowds in the past was because UT would come into town and A&M, and they'd fill up the stand. And yet here we are, and near as I can tell, if you look at the top 10 attendance, and maybe more than that, I didn't have time today to go back and look completely. Maybe even the top 20 attended games now. I don't know that Texas or A&M is on the list. Maybe a Texas game or two in the last couple of years. Well, how is this possible? Why is Texas Tech selling out the stadium? I mean, you're playing in a substandard conference now, where you don't have any big names. It's just you and Oklahoma State and Baylor and whatever Arizona State. You tell me, why is Texas Tech selling out Jones Stadium? What if Wednesday is for our NASCAR friends? Obviously, the last 10, 15 years, NASCAR ratings have plummeted. They're hitting new lows this week after the St. Louis debacle, and where your Saturday series is about equal with your Sunday Cup series. What if is this not on the track necessarily, but if Dale Earnhardt Sr. were still with us, how different would NASCAR be today as a sport? Would he have been a positive impact as a driver owner, than an owner, than the voice of NASCAR, maybe the face of NASCAR, maybe the guy of NASCAR, that if he were around over the last 10 years, things would have been different. Sponsorships would have been different. Or would it have been the same slow, sad demise that NASCAR has into, I don't even know where they rank right now on the sporting landscape. I love racing. I hate NASCAR right now. And I think a lot of people are like that. And then finally, today, we did our 60 seconds of Raiderland on this. No whining from the Utah fans on an early kick. This is what you wanted. You got into the Big 12 because nobody watched you play games before. They were at 9, 10, 11 o'clock Central, Eastern time zone. You whined about it. You couldn't get any respect. Well, here you go. Don't bitch. You should have a two ranked teams playing against each other, 11 o'clock Central, noon Eastern. This is your window. You want it. Not my fault you live out there in Utah. All right, let's get some comments going. We will get to Charlie Kirk before the night is done. I promise. Trust me on that. I have thoughts. We'll get them. Don't worry. I won't hold back. Jeff, Tech fans finally decided to go to games to see their team and not the visitors. Better facilities, better product, better marketing. I mean, it's been trending that way over the last 20 years, really. 25 years, really. Or I would say 20, 25 years. That during the 2000s, credit Mike Leach, credit good teams, that Texas Tech fans got over the idea of, oh, we'll go because so-and-so's coming to town, and we'll go because, well, we only do this a couple of times a year, 6, 7 maybe. This is fun. We like this. And Texas Tech fans realized over the last 20 years or so that it doesn't matter who's playing, that Tech's playing, it's a fun deal. It's cool. It took a while to get to that point. Now, what you have right now is, again, the confluence of a generation or so of fans, let's say 35, 40 or under. I would say if you're under 40 years old, that you've been a part of the era where people go to Tech games because Tech's playing, because it's fun, but also it's compelling content right now. That if you put compelling product out there on the field, and right now Tech is putting compelling product out there, that people will go. But I think it's interesting to me that I am old enough to remember that, I mean, Tech was dead in the water, according to some people. You might as well go to the WAC. If you're not in the same conference with UT, and there is a Chancellor Emeritus whom I like, and he was one of those who was kind of propagating that you've got to be wedded to UT in everything you do. No, you don't. In fact, I don't think the university has ever been in a better place in the history, 100 years of Texas Tech University, than they are right now, not being wedded to UT, Texas A&M, or anybody else. Stand on your own 2 feet, do what you need to do as an institution and a university, and that's what Texas Tech is doing right now. Look how it's working out. Look how it's working out. You're selling out the stadium. Your enrollment is higher than it's ever been. You have made more money than ever by decoupling from those schools. NASCAR guy here, Keith. Fun fact, 17 Chris Buescher's crew chief, Scott Graves, Tech alum. I don't know that I knew that. That's good. Jeff gets in on YouTube. You can get in on YouTube on the United Supermarkets chat line. You can get in on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. YouTube, free. Facebook, free. Everything free. Subscribe to all. Does the success of men's hoops and softball help by creating a general winner's mentality about Tech? It doesn't hurt, Jeff. It reminds me a little bit of the mid-'90s. In 1994, Texas Tech won the Southwest Conference. Well, they tied for the win in football, and we know how that worked out at the Cotton Bowl. And that was only because A&M was ineligible for engaging in NIL payments early. Lady Raiders basketball, baseball all win the Southwest Conference. You had a winner's mentality. It showed across sports. So, yeah, you have, I think right now, a winner's mentality and a successful mentality all across the stage at Texas Tech, for the most part, with all sports. Golf, tennis, track and field. Lady Raiders were trying to get there. Soccer's been there. Volleyball trying to get there. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing. And Allen jumps in and piles on. He's the guy that when we're watching game film, and he's like the last guy who jumps on pile on the tackle, hoping getting credit for a tackle. People show up to see winners. Yeah, they show up to see winners, but they show up to see compelling, and they show up to see good entertainment, and that's what you provided them for the most part. But they've also come to realize you only do this 6 or 7 times a year. Spike Dykes was right. I don't know, early 90s. And somebody asked him about, can your team get up this week? Are you worried about your team getting up this week? My gosh. I mean, certainly. My God, we only do this like 11 times a year, Don. I don't know how you can not get up for something that you only do 11 times a year. That boggles my mind. Worst Spike I've done in a while. I haven't done the Spike Dykes impersonation so long I can't do it anymore. Only losers to keep getting crowds were the Cubs. Yeah, and the Cowboys. That there are those who go just to go. But yeah, the Cubs, for years, with the Tribune Company as ownership in the 80s and 90s, they didn't have to put out a winning team because people just showed up. He said, Texas Tech selling out Jones State. Why do you go? Why do you go to the games? If you go, they're selling out nobodies. They're selling out Oregon State, Arkansas Pine Bluff. I was told this couldn't happen. Why is it happening? What if Wednesday, if you want to talk NASCAR, how different would it be if Dale Earnhardt were still alive today? Would that have changed the slow demise? Would he and he would have transitioned from driver to car owner within that 5-10 year stretch after 2001 Daytona, the deadly crash? That he would have ascended into that Rick Hendrick, Richard Childress, that ownership role. Richard Petty. And Richard Petty, after the death of Earnhardt, became again the de facto elder statesman, and it really wasn't something he necessarily wanted to do, but I mean, he was it. That was it. How different would things have gone if Earnhardt's still around? From sponsorships, from dealing with networks, from just the racing aspect. Two things. The racing's bad because of the car design, and then the relationship with corporations after about 2012 to 15 begin to go downhill. And then now you've got drivers who have zero personality for the most part. And if they dare to show personality, they get slapped down so hard that nobody wants to have anything to do with it. How different is NASCAR if Dale Earnhardt is literally the guy driving the sport today? And he would be so old that obviously Dale Earnhardt Jr. out of the car, that they would both be, like this father-son, beautiful Star Wars will rule the world empire type thing. How different would it be? And then if you want to pile on to Utah fans, who some of them were whining about having a 10 a.m. local start, it's what you wanted. You were begging for this over the last 10, 15 years. I saw it on social media. Nobody ranks our players in conference because we play too late. They don't see it. We need more games. Well, we give you a game. Now you got a game, and you bitch and you moan. Utah. I'm not even sure Utah is a state. It's like a territory that somehow, somewhere, somebody along the way made the mistake. And I think we got 3 states like that: Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. Then the rush of manifest destiny, go west, young man, that we just allowed those territories, for whatever reason, to become states. We didn't have to do it. It could be Puerto Rico now. Didn't have to happen that way. I don't drink Pepsi because they sponsored Jeff Gordon, the devil. Jeff Gordon, the devil. The Jones is a great time on Saturdays. Usually make it to at least 2 games a season, says Glenn on Facebook. Coming down from the Amarillo. Grandparents always had season tickets in the 1970s. There you go. Facebook, free. Ryan Answer, Radioland on Facebook. All platforms free. Easy to be a part of. When you get on, invite your friends and do stuff. All right. The United Supermarkets and Market Street chat line open. Why do you think Texas Tech is selling out for nobodies? Because I was told this couldn't happen. Have Texas Tech fans grown up over the last 20 years? I think they have. Has the fan base grown up? Have they realized you don't need Texas and A&M and Oklahoma and Nebraska and fill in the blank so-called big names coming in for you to go, have a good time, watch a good product, and enjoy a game? I think that's the case. Oh, and for Texas Ranger fans, they win again today. I beat Peralta. And are we living in a world where the Rangers might just do this again? Could the Rangers really do this again? I'm talking about World Series. I'm not talking about getting the wild card anymore. I'm talking about running down the Astros, where now you don't have to play just 675 baseball, just good baseball. How many games they got left against the Astros? They got at least what, 2 series? I think. Is it? Can they do this again? I was ready to get rid of Bruce Bochy month and a half ago. Not the right fit for this team. It's a rebuild. They're young. It's just, hey, great, thanks. That was awesome. You solidified your Hall of Fame record. And now all of a sudden we're like, what? He might do it again? Can the Rangers really do this? If they can get into the playoffs, if the Rangers can get into the postseason, this pitching staff right now, even without Eovaldi, let's say no Eovaldi, that's as good a pitching staff in short series with extended rest as anybody. Jeff on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Everybody on there, give us thumbs up, like this, share it. Selling out at a higher ticket price, no less. I keep wondering where the price point resistance barrier is for you people in college sports in West Texas, and they keep raising it up, and you guys keep paying it. I have no idea how you do it, because I look at the price of cotton, and it's like it was in 1974, and I don't know how you guys are doing it. Alan, another YouTuber. YouTube strong today. Facebook, all right. It's fascinating to me. Live, the Twitter comments, but huge replay Twitter people, huge. When I look back and we're done, like real-time Twitter people, where are my Twitter people comments? Do it like Cawthon. Win a bunch of games. Don't care what the inbreds are doing downstate. I assume we're talking about Pete Cawthon, who got fired and then ended up getting Texas Tech on probation. It was the greatest coach Tech ever had. The AL pretty weak. Anything is possible. Yeah. I don't know. Is it weak? Yeah, it's probably weak. Okay, we'll say it's weak. It's winnable. Let's not say it's weak. It's winnable. But I was totally done with Bochy. Not because he's not a great manager or anything. I just thought bad fit, wrong timing, time for the organization to move on. And a month ago or so, I'm like, okay, how do you do this in the final weeks of the regular season that you celebrate Bruce Bochy? You do all sorts of cool stuff. You bring out a motorcycle. You give him a drum set. What do? Now you got to give him a damn extension. Yeah, well. All right. Your thoughts, your comments, what's on your mind? Get in on the United Supermarkets chat line. Texas Tech selling out Jones Stadium. We'll have more on Tech and Oregon State tomorrow. We've got plenty of time to break down the game. Texas Tech, 3-touchdown plus favorite against people keep calling them a Power 4 something team or whatever. Trying, you got the people online trying. You can't overlook these people, man. These Tech fans can't believe you're going to overlook them. You're not giving them enough. You're not paying attention to the Beavers, man. You're not taking the Beavers seriously, and this is going to come back and bite you. The Beavers going to bite you. No. And again, I would say it doesn't matter what the fans do. It's irrelevant. The players understand that they can't gack this one up because they're not. I mean, they're playing to try to get into the playoffs. You can't lose this game. So they have motivation inside the building. But I'm not trying to talk down to certain fans, but I'm going to talk down to certain fans. You take yourself way too seriously in your impact on day-to-day stuff inside the building. They don't care what you think, have to say. Are you taking a team seriously? Did you wake up and take the Beavers seriously today? Oh, okay, well, yeah, then they are. So don't give yourself too much credit on that stuff. Just be fans can look forward. Fans should be looking forward to Tech in Utah. All right. Not really sure what to make of this. Red Raider Nation. Beavers ain't got no teeth. That is not true. was the great Jeff Foxworthy line? He's telling the story. He's doing a show somewhere, and he's out there visiting with fans. And this guy comes up with his wife, and she points at the husband and says, "A beaver bit his nipple off." To which Jeff Foxworthy says, "You have my attention." So if you got nipple biting beavers out there this weekend, be careful. Otherwise, you never know how it's going to go out there. Texas Tech selling out Jones Stadium. Why? I was told it couldn't happen. What if Wednesday? How different would NASCAR be if Dale Sr. were still alive? Dale Earnhardt. Could he have staved off the decline in popularity? My answer, I don't know, and probably not. And probably not. And that's sad. And no whining for Utah fans. You get the kickoff time you wanted. You begged for it. You joined the Big 12 for these type of games. David Carter, I think I hacked Red Raider Nation. Beware the beaver. I've always said that. I truly have. All right, your thoughts, your comments, anything else on the United Supermarkets chat line. Brought to you tonight by Shropshire Insurance of Texas, an agency so big they can cover the entire state of Texas right here from Lubbock, Texas, USA. And back Gators Bayou, by gosh. Hot Cajun food, ice cold drinks, live music on the patio. Great patio this time of year. So many TV. They just got a new big screen TV that it was so big they had to move tables. When they put it on the wall, they actually had to rearrange the table configuration of the restaurant at Gators Bayou. That's how big the TVs are. So if you can't make it out this week, or you got to find a place to watch Tech in Utah next week, Gators Bayou 98th and Slider Road. All right. And Alan kind of teased it up for us tonight. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Our nation needs prayers and changed hearts. Indeed. God bless and God welcome home Charlie Kirk into your eternal realm today. I do believe we crossed a Rubicon today, that we had a political killing, an assassination of Charlie Kirk, who the worst thing he ever did was speak his mind, preach the gospel as he understood it, and engage in discussion with anyone and everybody who wanted to engage in discussion. That's it. That's all. That's what he did. He went to college campuses. He went to public forums. He went anywhere that they would engage him. 31 years old, lovely, beautiful family. And today he was assassinated and killed in Utah at Utah Valley State. That takes place in 2025 does not shock me. That we have a disease in this country. We have a disease in this country that this country is rotting from the inside on so many different levels. But right now, it seems like it's only one way. It only happens one direction right now. I mean, if you're driving around and you got a coexist bumper sticker in your car, light your car on fire, because I don't think your bumper sticker means what you think it means. That we look at a guy like Charlie Kirk, a young man willing to talk, engage, debate. I thought that's what we were about. I thought that's what we wanted. I thought we wanted to have an engagement of ideas. I thought that's what coexist meant. But right now, coexist seems to mean kill or try to kill anybody on the right, because you ain't seeing it going the other way. Steve Scalise, 2 attempts on Donald Trump. Now Charlie Kirk. We're not seeing it go the other way. Jeff, there's no place for political violence in a free society. Well, apparently somebody disagrees with you. The fake Natalie Maines, Charlie Kirk, shot in Utah. 2 were shot in Evergreen High School in Colorado. An officer was shot at Zilker Park, an officer, and a beheading in Dallas Hotel. How do we prepare for these events? Well, you don't prepare for some of them. You can prepare for some of them by trying to create an environment where the people who do that know they're going to die or face repercussions. Now, people who are willing to die in the pursuit of their event, you can't, it's incredibly hard to stop them. And that goes back to the death of Abraham Lincoln. Anybody that's an assassin who is willing to die to do what they want to do is incredibly hard to stop. So then we get into the hearts and minds. We get into the garbage of the minds of people and what we've got going on. We don't have a gun problem, we got a heart problem. Anyone remotely conservative has been called fascist and literal Nazis. So, what did the left expect to happen? I can't argue with that. When one side demagogues another to the point where they call them Hitler and Nazis and whatever, and they do it over and over, then there is a lunatic fringe that will take that and say, well, yeah, man, if I could have killed Hitler in 1935, I would have done it. That's a good thing, right? I'm going to do this now. So they apparently do. They apparently try to do that. But for Charlie Kirk was everything I was told by the left that we were supposed to do: engage, debate, coexist, invite, go to college campuses where he was today, do all of those things. That's what I've been told since I was in college by the left. Oh, we want to have a conversation. We don't want to have political, fights and violence and anything. Huh. So they shot him. They couldn't defeat his argument, so they shot him. They didn't like what he had to say, so they shot him. Unless you're watching MSNBC this afternoon and then some lunatic on there saying, well, it could be a Charlie Kirk supporter just so excited that he just started firing off his guns, as we often do, as conservatives often do in celebration at political events, rallies, and otherwise. I can't tell you how many times I've been to a political event and folks just started firing weapons randomly into the crowd and hitting the speaker. It happens all the time. I'm getting weary of it. I'm really growing weary of it. I'm growing weary of trying to accommodate one side of the discussion. I'm growing weary of trying to justify one side of the discussion. And I think what some people on the left may find very quickly, is that a lot of people around the country are growing weary of that accommodation, and they're not going to make that accommodation anymore. I fear for where this could take us. Truly do. You look at the clock, the historical clock, whether it's 1856 or 57 or 58, you look at things that are happening and you ought to be fearful. You should. But I will say that the idiot who did this assassination will not reap what he thought he was going to reap. He will reap something else completely different in the American body politic. He will not get what he wanted. I can assure you of that. Can the FCC pull NBC's broadcasting permit? Nope. Can't do it for that. What do we need? There you go. A little bit more of that. What we see today, I think what maybe angers me and frustrates me the most is the numbing down of America. Not the dumbing down. We've been dumb for a long time. The numbing down of these events happening. President Trump gets 2 assassination attempts. No big deal. Nobody seems to really care. We forgot about that. Don't know anything about any of the shooters. Really, what? Okay, the numbing down of the woman getting killed in Charlotte on the subway train, and half the media, MSNBC, CNN, won't cover it, won't put it out there, won't show it to their people because it violates their narrative. It makes Trump look good. It makes, apparently, and I don't know how it makes conservatives look good. I don't think it makes anybody look good. I think it makes the murderer look bad, and it makes us look as a society and say, well, maybe we ought to take a 14-time arrested person and not have them out there. But I don't know how that plays out. New York Times and CNN and MSNBC. But to me, it's the numbing down of America that has become the problem. Something like this happens today, it'll be in the news cycle a couple of days. It'll go away. It will. And it won't matter to people. And there'll be another murder. And, fake Natalie Maines mentions, what happened in, Colorado today. What happens in Chicago every day, every weekend. The acceptance and the numbing down. And I fear that is what many people want, because it allows them to pursue whatever political agenda it is that they want to pursue. That if we numb you down enough to any of this violence, any of this murderous nature, then you'll accept anything. That you will accept anything if we numb you down enough to it. Struggling with righteousness today. Every fiber in my being is now radicalized, but my heart and soul belong to my Savior. Righteous anger is smiled upon by the Lord. Righteous anger is a good thing, but it must be righteous. And the anger must be beneficial in its outcome of action. Righteousness and righteous anger, though, smiled upon by the Lord when it does the Lord's work. Aren't most of the media companies owned by 4 or 5 companies? Yeah, Randy Wade, yeah. Also pray that this backfires on the left. Charlie Kirk had such a huge youth following organization, that is the turning point. Yes, I agree. It will have a huge backfire. He has radicalized an under 24 crowd that was already leaning conservative, was already moving conservative, was already moving away from the left. And I dare say, when you kill their leader, in much the same way that it radicalized people in the 1960s with the murder of Martin Luther King Jr., that you will not have the desired effect that you want if you thought that was going to kill a movement. A couple more comments, your thoughts. I give you mine. You know what I think. You know what I think for 30 years doing media around here, even more. But today was different. Today crossed, I think, a Rubicon. And I do believe that there's a wild wind that has been loosed, that those on the left don't begin to understand and can't begin to comprehend. That there is a righteous JC anger that will be born of this, but the actions must be righteous following the anger. It cannot be unrighteous actions. The actions must be righteous. And that's what Charlie Kirk would want. That's what he would have advocated. That's what how he established his movement. It would have been that way, not out of vengeance. No, make no mistake, not out of vengeance. Not out of vengeance, but a reckoning. And a reckoning is a good thing. And I believe there will be a reckoning. So you move forward with that. If you're angry tonight, and that's fine. If you're upset tonight, and you should be, and if you look at this and you go, I can't believe this has happened, and what do I got to do? Well, then you have the righteous anger, then you have the reckoning, then you have righteous action moving forward. And that's how you handle it. But make no mistake, you can still be anger, and you can still be emotional. You can still be fired up. And I hope you are. And it's not lost upon me that as we sit here talking about this tonight on 10 September 2025, that on 10 September 2001, that we would go to bed and wake up to a different world on September 11th. And we will wake up in a different world tomorrow on 11 September 2025. And we used the term then, never forget, painted it on the back of your pickup truck window, went down the street with your flag flying, did all those things. How many of you have forgotten? How many of you have forgotten about what it felt like waking up September 11th, later on the day, September 12th? You get the idea. Not lost on me today. You know? So what are you going to do about it? That's up to you. 100% up to you. How you handle that, how you do that, how you motivate yourself, how you act from here on this night into tomorrow, into 11 September 2025, and going back to never forget. Well, you have an added, I think, impetus tomorrow to not forget certain things. JC, the Lord's not finished with Charlie's movement. Join it with righteous anger and unleash God's glory. That seems like a pretty good plan going forward. But again, it doesn't matter if you don't carry it out. It doesn't matter if you don't do anything with it. We went 6 minutes over. Goodness gracious. The bosses are going to be mad about this one. They're going to be upset about this one. Woo! I ain't going to enjoy that meeting. That meeting tomorrow with the bosses is going to be kind of rough. I thank you for being out there. I thank you for sharing this, what we do. I thank you for our great sponsors, Jeff Shropshire at Shropshire Insurance, Great Gators Bayou, United Supermarkets, Hat Creek Interior, all the wonderful people on our website. The Power of Five. If you guys want to do something amazing tonight, go on the Shropshire Insurance page, Hat Creek Interior, whatever, and tell them thanks for supporting what we do in Raiderland. Just 5 of you. Tell us about it on Twitter. Hit me on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. But if you want to do something to keep this program alive and keep things like this and the media you enjoy going, then do that. Go on social media, tell them thanks. It means a lot. We'll have this posted on the website, theraiderland.com, in just a bit. And then another reason to follow us on our Facebook page and Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on Facebook. Your daily dose of West Texas, our coolest pictures from West Texas coming up. All right, y'all are the best. We'll see you tomorrow, Thursday. Rated right, overrated, and underrated on the website, theraiderland.com.